Or live.
Yay, it's live, okay. Hi, guys. I'm really excited because this is live. Because it was not live before, so I was freaking out. I was like, why isn't it doing it?
We both look like idiots. They're both like, what is it work?
We're both like, hello. Well, guys, hello. Welcome to the Perustopia live show, where we're going to be discussing Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. This is going to be a spoiler live show, so if you've not read this book yet, please leave, because we do not want to spoil you for this book, because it's just that amazing. You do not want to be spoiled for it.
Right. We will say as a disclaimer, before you leave for spoilers, we do recommend you read the Heroes of Olympus series before you read the Trials of Apollo.
Oh my gosh. Take it from me, who literally had to binge read it this past week, the whole entire series, because I did not know that. So I was like being like really chillaxed about reading this book, because I'm like, yeah, it's not that long of a book, but it turns out you have to read like, a 10-book whole entire series before then, because you have to read Percy Jackson kind of in order to understand Heroes of Olympus, in order to understand this book.
Well, I feel like you'd be able to understand it without the material, but it's more the fact that there are minor spoilers to the Heroes of Olympus.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just a lot more fun because there's like a whole bunch of character references and stuff. So you kind of...
Yeah. And like with Heroes of Olympus, you'll be spoiled for it. So if you even want to read Heroes of Olympus, you shouldn't read this book. But if you do not want to read Heroes of Olympus,
just
then read it.
No
problem.
All right, so
yeah.
The hashtag for this live show is going to be Trials of Apollo. So just hashtag that up. Hashtag. I'll tweet it out right now. Ask.
And then like go into the description of this video. Not description, the section, and ask us your questions too, because we like your questions and we want to answer them.
Yes.
Okay, so while Reagan's doing that, I'm going to just talk a little bit about my thoughts on this book. So Trials of Apollo was so phenomenal. I think it's my favorite Rick Riordan book I've read in the past 2 months, which is pretty much all of his books, minus 2 of his series. So, and I think I'm taking a break from Rick Riordan right now because I've been reading him for like 2 months straight. So It's been a while. And even though it was great, I need a break. So I'm really enjoying this series, and I just loved this book so much. I loved Apollo. I loved the plot line. I love how it's actually different from his other books, because his other books kind of follow the same type of, like, not structure in the sense, and which is not bad at all because he does it so well. But this book has kind of taken a whole entire new structure, which I really appreciate what to expect in this novel. And that's why I loved it so much. And it also made me laugh, like, and cry tears. My review for this book is going to be up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Okay, Reagan, what is your opinion? And, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars.
Right. So as a long-time Percy Jackson, Rick Riordan fan, reading his books for, since I was like 12 or 13, I loved this book. And you're right, it did have it was a little different than his other books because we didn't need an origin story, / we didn't need a character to find out he had power story, because Apollo is a god. He already knows what's up. He already knows about Camp Half-Blood. He already knows about demigods and the like. So we didn't have to worry about a character figuring that out, accepting that, and moving on. We just got to jump right in with Apollo. And the thing I loved most about this novel, there's quite a few things. The thing I loved most, though, was the humor. This book was so funny. Apollo's perspective and commentary was unbelievable, and yet he wasn't stagnant. He had a really great character arc. He grew, he learned, he became more empathetic and understanding with humans as he became a human, but still his observations, especially in the beginning, were hilarious. When he went to Percy's house in New York, oh my god, it was great. And on the same flip side of that, Meg as a character to counterbalance Apollo, I thought was just so awesome. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm like, we could have a whole live show to talk about this stuff, but clearly I loved it.
No. Oh my god. I totally agree with you, though. I totally agree with you. Like, his observations, like, have you seen House of Cards?
I've seen a few episodes, but he has those asides.
Okay.
Like Kevin.
Well, you see, yeah, like, so, in House of Cards, if you guys do not watch it, in a way, like, Kevin Spacey, he plays, Underwood, and Underwood, he, is very aware that he is in a show, almost, like, he is aware that there's an audience there listening to him and watching him, so he takes himself away from the action in the show and faces the camera and talks to you like you're listening, like you are listening, and that's kind of like what, Apollo is doing in this book. He is very aware he's in a book talking to you guys, but he is also going along, like, with his life in the story as well, and I love the mix of those two. I thought it was so interesting.
I really just liked his asides. They were so funny. Like, every time he was like too above something to do it, he's like, when I was a god, like, everyone loves me, or like, I write the greatest songs. It's just so funny. Like, it was so funny. But at the same time, as much fun this book was and the humor it had, I also felt like it dealt with some serious topics. Or not even serious. It wasn't serious about some of these serious topics, but it just integrated some really great things in the story. Like, for example, the fact that Apollo is clearly pansexual. Like, is that the right term? Bisexual, pansexual? I don't want to say.
I said bisexual in my review, but pansexual could be too, because he could be attracted. Like, I mean, Poseidon had sex with a horse to create Pegasus,
right.
or like, who created Pegasus?
Like, it's not. Well, I don't know if we want to say, but it's just exciting.
I don't know. He is openly loving everybody and everything.
Exactly. So Apollo doesn't see gender as a way to define whether he likes someone or not. And it wasn't, and I appreciated Apollo because as a character, he wasn't like struggling with this. He was just blatantly like, why are people like not like this, or like why do people think this is weird, or
he thinks it's like funny. Like, it's funny that like to him that people aren't always like that. Like, in a sense, like, remember what happened when he found out that Will is gay and he's dating a guy? Like, he's like, he didn't even approach that topic until later, like the next chapter. He's like, oh, you're probably wondering what my thoughts on this were. I don't care, he can do whatever he wants. And I'm like, I love that, because it's so true. Like, more people need to think like Apollo.
Exactly. And the other serious topic I felt that this book dealt with, and it's going to continue to deal with, is this idea of abuse. Obviously, Meg as a character was emotionally and probably physically abused, but very emotionally manipulated by her father. And you can see at the end of that, she was dealing with it harshly. And Apollo even was able to empathize with her about that, with experiences with his own father. But I felt like that was something nice to see in a middle grade book, because that is a very real problem, and it's very hard to see and understand. So to be able to get a representation of it in a book that's going to be read by so many people, I felt like was really, really great. And it helped Meg's character be fleshed out a little bit more, and you're also rooting for her in that way as well.
Yeah, I love Meg's character just because she was she was sassy, but not sassy. She was just like really just cool. She was the definition of cool, because she obviously just doesn't care what people think. She obviously doesn't care that Apollo is a god or was a god. She's like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to take control over you. Like, you're going to be my sidekick, and you're going to do what I tell you to, because now I have control over you.
Exactly. Literally, Meg's character was the perfect counterbalance to Apollo, because Apollo is ridiculous. Like, he is absurd in how he views himself, how he treats people. He's he's crazy. He's a god turned into a pimply teenager. But then we have Meg's character.
I love that aspect of it.
Yeah. And then we have Meg's character, who balances him out so well, because she's not going to take any of his crap. And it's not even a matter of kind of, she doesn't give anything to Apollo, and I just really liked how they played off each other. And obviously, I like her age, which is weird because she's 12 and he's 17, but I don't think it's weird for a couple of things, because one, I don't think there's going to be a romance in this. Apollo, I don't think is
no. Oh my! If there's, I don't want it to be a romance. I don't want there to be any romance.
Oh, there won't be. Between Meg and Apollo, there definitely won't be.
No, not between them, not between them. But like in general, I don't want there to be romance, and I don't think there will be. Maybe with secondary characters there will be. Like, of course there will be, because we already know.
Right.
But not with Apollo.
Yeah, because he's Apollo.
And Apollo doesn't really.
So it would be kind of, who knows? I mean, no, it won't happen, because he's going to become a god again. So he'll just make friends, and he'll be able to empathize more with humans, and we'll see side characters.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that.
But also
trying to be in a relationship.
Yeah, but also in a sense, like, he's been through so many relationships in the past that he brings that's his relationship. He's had a relationship with a lot of people, but also with I'm forgetting their names, but I know them from Greek mythology. Like, there are two people I know well because of Apollo, and I've done like research in Greek mythology in the past, so I'm forgetting their names though. But the two people he fell in love with, the girl, the nymph or whatever,
the guy
that got hit in the head by a discus or whatever. Yeah, so like that is enough romance for me, because this is not like a person that's going to live until they're 100 and die. This is a guy that's going to live on for as long as like he doesn't get killed. And so there's room for, this is just like a second in his life. It's not like,
and it's like, it's going to be an adventure. It's going to impact him as a god, but it's not like a YA novel where Apollo is going to fall in love with some mortal girl and like make her, you know what I mean? Like, that's not where this series is going, I don't think, because
he's already done that way too many times.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying, this is not a YA novel. You know what I mean? This is a this feels more middle grade than the Heroes of Olympus series does. And I kind of like being back into that because it's just really fun. And I don't know. It's just so great. I just love it.
It's a mix between middle grade and young adult because Rick Riordan, he's had the middle grade series, the Percy Jackson series, and then Heroes of Olympus is young adult. And this one has the main characters are either in their teens or they're like 12, like Meg. So it's a good mix between the two because it's appropriate for kids who are under the age of a teen, but also appropriate and fun to read for older people. Like I know that I enjoyed it. And I'm 19 and you're 21, right?
Yeah, almost 22. I love
22.
Percy Jackson till the end of life. But yeah, you're right. Like I just feel like Rick Riordan's really great at writing a great story that is fun and engaging for a wide variety of audiences, offers a lot in terms of commentary, and it's just really great. It's just so great. So great.
And what I loved about this is that, so at the beginning, he encounters Percy, and Percy's like, no, I'm not going on another quest. I am not doing this again. He's been on so many quests. He's just I am done. Don't even get me involved.
He's like, I'm going to college. I promised Annabeth I'm going to college. And you know the reason why Annabeth wasn't in this book? This isn't a spoiler, but she's in Magnus Chase right now. That's why she's.
Oh yeah, she's visiting a relative. I noticed that.
Yeah, it's a reference to Magnus Chase. So this is happening at the same time as Magnus Chase, and it's funny because Annabeth even referenced something like something's going on at Camp Half-Blood, I think, in Magnus Chase, but she's busy where she's at. But it's just funny how everything's kind of in the same world, Everything's connected.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And I haven't read the Gods of Asgard series. I hear it's great, but I'm gonna wait until I get back to Boston to read it because I want to be able to read it in the city it takes place. So I can be really, really artsy and be sitting where it takes place and be like, oh look, this is just mentioned in the book.
That'd be cool. That's a really you can experience it hands-on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and I just had a laugh. I loved the whole Percy scene, Percy bringing them to camp, because it was kind of full circle for him, because he brought to camp, too. I haven't read the first Percy Jackson.
Yeah, he was brought to camp, yeah.
He was brought to camp, right? So
Grover got him, technically.
So he's bringing other people to camp in the Prius, of all things. And, so funny. And I'm just like, oh, everyone's grown up. I'm old. He's old. Everyone's old now.
Yeah, I know. It's he is going to college in the next year, but knowing Rick Riordan, this book series is probably gonna take place in a few weeks or a month, and so we won't actually see him getting to go to school, University of New Rome. Yeah. So that's cool.
So let's answer some questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Portia asked, do you think Apollo will get along with Leo and Calypso on their quest? And I just want to quickly say I'm so excited about this because Leo is probably one of my top
He's one of my favorite characters.
He's so fun. Yeah. And I think he'll counterbalance with Apollo really well. I'm interested to see how long Leo will be with them. I don't know if they're going to be, if it's only for the.
I don't know.
Or what? Because he does need to get to California, so maybe he'll just drop him off and move on. I don't know. I think it'll be really funny. I want Meg to come back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Meg, but do you know what I actually think is kind of funny? So I was looking at reviews for Blood of Olympus, and in one of them, they're like, I just thought the ending, with Leo and Calypso just flying off was really anticlimactic. It's not something that we don't know what happens to them. They were really disappointed in that. It had so many likes, and then when this started, once it ended, I'm like, ha ha ha, Rick Riordan got you because he is finishing up with that little storyline for you right here.
I know, typical Rick Riordan. Do you read his intros to his books? They're so funny. Have you read them?
Oh yeah, this one. Wait, which intros? Just the dedicated.
The dedicated
to the musical. Well, so this is long overdue.
Well, because you just read. Sorry, I'll grab it. But you just read Heroes of Olympus, and Rick Riordan's so tongue in cheek like that. So the dedication to House of Hades. Here, read it.
Wait.
It's to my wonderful.
To the wonderful.
Sorry about the last cliffhanger. Well, no, not really. Ha 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 ha. But seriously, I love you guys. So you know how it ended at the end of Mark of Athena.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Anyway, all of his dedications are super funny, and like he knows what he's doing. Like, if there seemingly is a loose end, like it's on purpose because he's gonna tie it up later. He is
probably such an outliner.
Mm-hmm.
Like I cannot imagine. Like I'm not an outliner. I just go at it. But when I just admire authors who can outline to like the last book in the series when they're on their first book and know how it'll end and like know all that stuff, because it's so tough sometimes unless you love doing that. I, on the other hand, hate doing outlining. I hate doing outlining with a burning passion, but Rick Riordan, I just want to see one of his outlines for his books, like an early outline, just to see, like, has it all planned? Like, who knows?
I don't know. Okay, so wait, another question is, what characters do you think will show up in book 2?
Oh, gosh. Probably Frank.
Who?
Frank and Hazel.
Oh, yeah, because that's who Leo's going to go see. So I'm assuming Frank and Hazel. I like that. Well, does that mean Jason's going to be there?
Ooh,
wait, who is Jason?
I think that Jason. What?
Who's Jason with? It's not Hazel. It's Piper.
Oh, Piper.
Yeah, who's he going? Is he going to see Frank and Hazel in California, or Jason and Piper?
Oh, he's gonna be seeing. What did
he say?
I forget which one. I forget. I think it was I have no clue. But it's one of the people that's on the West Coast.
Yeah, well, Piper and Jason, well, they might be in college, so it might be Frank and Hazel. I am, also, we just talked about the reappearance of Rachel Dare. Like, when's the last time we've seen Rachel?
Oh my god! Yeah, Rachel. We hadn't like seen her in a while. Then she comes back in this one, and I'm like, I like Rachel. I like how she just feels normal, even though she obviously isn't.
Yeah. Well, for me,
it's Jason and Piper.
It's Jason and Piper. That's what I thought. Because well, for me, for Rachel, like I haven't seen her. I read these books as they come out, so I haven't seen Rachel in a while. At first, I was like, Rachel. I was like, oh, Rachel, Rachel. Yeah,
like honestly, I love all of the books that I've read of his, and I love all the characters. Like even I just have this. Even though I didn't grow up with the series or read as each one came out, I just love all the characters in these books, and like even the ones that slightly annoy you, like I feel like later on in the series they just get better, and like I feel like Rachel Dare is like one of those characters that just keeping getting better and better.
Well, the thing with Rick Riordan and his characters in general, I feel like he has so many and they all feel unique. They're all extremely likable, but for different reasons. They don't just feel like carbon copies of each other, which I appreciate. And it has to be so difficult because he has so many characters. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just appreciate
so many characters.
And there's each one off their own thing. What?
Yeah, side note, this is Heroes Olympus, but like no spoilers. I give him so many props for having like 7 points of views in a book, and it not getting confusing. Like it never got confusing at all, and I'm like, so good. Right.
Well, just going back to Trials of Apollo, because again, the last thing I read by him was Magnus Chase, but the Heroes of Olympus series is multi-perspective. And going to the Trials of Apollo, it was all Apollo's perspective. And it just gave me like this throwback feeling to Percy Jackson, which was always through Percy's perspective through the whole thing. So like this is going to be Apollo. So I feel like the next book we might get Meg and Apollo. I'm just kind of guessing because they are separated. And we do care about Meg. I really care about Meg. So I be able to keep tabs on her.
Okay, when you spoke, it scared me.
What?
There was a glitch. It sounded like a robot. It was weird. Am I a robot? Yeah, I don't know. Anybody else has that? This is live chat. I want to know.
Oh no. Oh no.
But anyways, yes, I'm really excited to see more Meg. Meg actually reminds me, Meg and Hercules?
Yeah.
Like kind of like that.
The young version of Meg.
Young version, yeah. Wait, people heard that too. The weird sound.
LOL. Oops.
Somebody's like, oh, a glitch. And I'm like, no, guys, actually, Reagan's a robot.
I'm a robot. Oops.
Okay, so, ask those questions, guys, in the chat because I'm looking there. I'm stalking it. Okay, so.
Someone asked, if you were in a zombie apocalypse, what 3 characters would you pick to help you survive and why?
Ooh.
I know.
Who are yours?
Okay, well, Percy Jackson, first and foremost. Like, come on. That's easy. I mean, he's really strong. And then I would do Annabeth. Annabeth. Sometimes I randomly call her Annabelle, and it's really embarrassing. Annabeth Chase, because she's really smart, so she would be like the strategy. She'd like make sure we were surviving and going to like the proper shelters. And then Jason, because he's also really powerful. That's who I'd pick.
Oh, okay, so mine would be Frank, because he could turn into any animal and fly us away. Then Nico, because he could just swallow up all the zombies under, like, into Tartarus.
Smart.
And then I would also pick Will, because Will can bandage up anybody if they got hurt.
That's smart. I'm going to switch out. Jason Grace for Leo, because Leo can, like, build a lot of stuff out of, like, nothing. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that'd be a really helpful skill during the apocalypse. So I'm gonna go Percy, Annabeth, Leo. That's I
mean, like anybody you pick will you will be fine. All these characters, they have such survival skills.
I would definitely be the weight pulling down the team.
Oh my god, I would be like awful. I would just like run away and be like, take care of this for me. I'll be like Apollo as a god. You take care of this for me. I don't have to worry about it.
He's like, what is this Prius? I do not drive in a Prius.
Like, what? Why? Where's the Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Or the whatever he's
Maserati.
Okay. Okay, somebody said, which camp would you go to? Camp Half-Blood or Camp Jupiter?
That's hard because like Camp Jupiter is kind of a camp that you can have your whole life there. You know, you go to college, you can settle down there with a family. Like, where do demigods go? You know, when they're older.
They mostly get killed.
Right? So I just feel like the longevity of life for the Roman camp seems to be a little longer. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think I would choose the Roman camp just because it probably is like really pretty. But then again, I love like the idea of Camp Half-Blood. Like I would go to Camp Half-Blood for camp, but then I would go home to Camp Jupiter for the year.
Well, because you can have your family there. Like, if I was married to a demigod, this is getting, like, real serious. If I was married to a demigod, we would both be hunted because we're demigods. So I would like to settle down in a place that's safe so I could raise my children in a safe location. You know?
With good schools.
With good schools and good training. You know? And so I just feel like, and then I'd send them to camp because the camps are open. So I would, like, you know, the kids can go to Camp Half-Blood, but we live at Camp Jupiter.
Yeah, both of them. Okay, let's see. Oh, what do you think about Sally being pregnant? I love it. Oh,
I love it too. I'm like so happy for them. I'm just like, Sally, you deserve that, girl. Because she had a crappy marriage. She had such a
she had a crappy marriage. Her first husband left her, technically. Didn't need mean to really, but kind of.
Thank God, I hated him.
What's our all-time favorite book by Rick Riordan?
Oh, please! I can't even answer that question. I have no idea.
I can. Trials of Apollo, because I just so loved it.
I don't know. I love them all. It's hard.
I think they're all great. It's hard to pick.
Can I do it per series? So like I like
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, why can't I think of it? The 4th book in the Percy Jackson series, the Maze one. The Battle of the Labyrinth. I like that one. And then Heroes of Olympus series, I like the Curse of Athena. And then obviously Magnus Chase and Trials of Apollo is only 1 book out each, so I guess I'll say the first book of those series. But I don't know, I like them all so much. I really, really do. Like I can't wait to have these and then like have my kids read them. I don't know. I just am a really big fan of these books.
Yeah, like I think my favorite book out of each series would be Sea of Monsters. I really like Sea of Monsters. And then it would be House of Hades, and then Trials of Apollo. I love Trials of Apollo. I just love all of Rick Riordan's elements in it, but it just I loved Apollo from the very start in his other series, and I just love him now.
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
This is the book that made me want to read his series, because I read the description and I'm like, oh, I want to read his series now, so I can get to this book, and so I did so. Good job.
The only Rick Riordan books I haven't read are the Caden Chronicles, and it's weird because I don't really want to read those, and I don't know why. Are they
Caden Chronicles? Yeah, I've heard some not the best things about it, but there's really lots of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people just don't prefer it.
Ooh, excuse me.
Okay.
Someone asked, kiss, marry, kill between all the Percy Jackson characters. You go first.
I would, I would kiss, okay, I got this. I would kiss Percy, marry Frank, and then kill, who would I kill? All these characters are great. The main characters, right? I'm guessing the main characters. I would kill Nico because he can come back. He'll sneak out of it. I love Nico, though. I love Nico. That's why I would kill him so he can come back. Or Hazel. Hazel, too. She can come back, too.
True.
She did.
I don't know who I'd kill, but I would kiss Percy. I would marry Leo. Who would I kill? Can I kill a bad guy?
No, main character.
Oh my god. I don't know. Frank's so nice. I guess Jason, because he's kind of boring.
Okay, I noticed that. I just don't really remember his point of view that much.
Well, that's how he differs from Percy, which I think is cool, because they're both definitely the powerful dudes from each of their camps. Percy's very laid back, outgoing, really, really funny, and Jason's a little more serious and a little more doesn't really get the joke all the time. You know what I mean? They're just different from each other. But he's a little more brooding, and I'm just not so into that. So I guess I'd kill him. Yeah. I'm really sorry, Piper. Sorry. I like Piper.
Sorry, girl. Sorry. Okay, so let's see what the next one is. Okay. This is really great. Okay. A lot of people are just chatting with each other in comments, so I'm trying to find a question, but I'm loving reading your chats. Somebody's like, Reagan, should I watch this live show or your new video?
Oh my god. Both, girl or boy.
Same time.
Open up 2 tabs. I did just post a video. That is a true fact.
Okay, so how's the writing style in the series?
Wait, what? Boyfriend, because I love that so much.
Nico what?
Nico and his boyfriend. They're so cute.
Oh, Will?
Yeah.
No, Will is just he brings, I feel like Will's an extrovert, and yes. And then Nico is an introvert.
I love their things. They always have to be together, and Nico's I have a doctor's note, if I'm not here,
Yeah, he's
it's so funny. I was oh my god, I love them. Thank you.
I know, that made me feel I need to date a doctor. So then he made me out of things I just don't want to go to. But do you know what I really like them, but they also I also like, because they remind me of not necessarily they were copying, but Magnus and Alec, because Magnus is the extrovert and Alec's the introvert, and they just work out so well. They play off of each other. And that's why I really like Will and Nico.
They give you the same kind of feels. And it's just nice to see diversity in relationships and race and all sorts of things. And Rick Riordan definitely offers that, which is just something I appreciate. Because, it's boring to read about the same types of characters every single time. So it's nice to read about people that are like you, that are different from you. It gives you perspective. It's all sorts of important. So I just really appreciate it.
If you've noticed, all the Heroes of Olympus main characters, they're of different races, they're different sexualities. They're just they're all so different, and I love that, because in his first series, there was diversity, but it was he still did a great job of like talking about stuff, but it didn't really blow up until the second book, and I'm not saying the second series, which is Here's Olympus, which I really loved, because we need just diverse books. We need diverse books. It's something that's necessary and more of.
And and I can definitely see the growth in that, and it's just great, especially because a lot of kids read these books, so it's so nice to know that they'll read these books and they can be like, that character's like me, you know what I mean? They can identify with someone where they usually might not be able to. It's hard to find diversity in a lot of popular books, so it's great that there's literally someone for everyone to identify with, I guess, physically. Yeah. But then also there's people like them that are, you know, emotionally or sexually. It's like all sorts of things that you can just relate to all these different types of characters in different ways, and it's just very nice, and it just makes me very happy.
Okay, so yeah, I love that. I totally agree with that.
Let's answer one more question, and then we'll talk about our
1 second.
Book for next month.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. So let's make a really, guys, that's a really good question. Oh, question. How'd you picture Apollo's hair? Was it like blonde curls, or was it dark, dirty blonde curls, or like brown curls?
I always imagine, someone says curly hair. I mean, it probably should be blonde because he's a sun god, but I always imagine people with dark hair. Like, even if they're
blonde up here.
He's probably definitely blonde because he's the sun god, but.
Yeah, it was like never really elaborated because he said like he had dark curls or something, and I was like, what type of curls? Because I'm like really descriptive. I love like knowing the exact shade.
Maybe he left it kind of vague on purpose, but like, I don't know what color. I mean, I don't think his hair is blonde in this cover. I feel like there's just orange light on his hair.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, maybe, you know, it's up for you to choose.
That could be the case. I don't know what color Apollo's silky curls are, but maybe we'll find it.
Can I just bring attention to this right now? Somebody's been asking about like some Beth Kim, and she's like, please read the Seven Wonders series. Do you know what that is?
Seven Wonders series?
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'll go look it up after this. I was wondering if you knew about it. I don't know who knows about it, but she's been like really avidly like messaging.
I've heard of those. Yeah, those look good. I haven't read them. Yeah, good things about them.
Yeah,
them on Book Outlet.
Okay, let's okay, guys, ask some your last questions. Somebody's like, love to see your bed so tidy. Guys, I was sleeping. I was reading my book, and I like getting out of my covers. I do make my bed every morning, okay? It's just, come on. I like taking naps, and like.
My dog is passed out. I can't even make. She's like passed out on her back.
My dog's passed out too. Hi, Colin. Hi, Colin. Got the little water bowl over there. Okay. I want to like a really good last question because this is such a really good series. Okay, let's just say, what do we expect from the next book? Like, what do we think we're gonna see?
I like the idea that we're kind of get like a myth. In a way, it's gonna be like a mythical road trip. I always love when the characters are transient, especially in his books. They're going to be on that great dragon. They're going to be, you know, cross-countrying it, and they're going to run into all sorts of creatures on the way, which I think is going to be really, really fun. So I expect a lot of cool things in that way. I expect that we're going to run into some more characters that we know and love, and I expect Apollo to be as ridiculous as he was in the first book. I guess format-wise, I think it'll be dual perspective. I feel like we'll get Apollo and Meg. I could be wrong, but I'm hoping so anyway.
Yeah, I think they're both would be interesting to hear from because they're both great, very colorful characters. What I think, I really want to know more about the Roman emperors that came back? Were they Roman? Yeah, I want to know more about them because that was like that was so different from like his other plot lines, his other plot conflicts, that I'm so excited to know more about it.
Girl, if you want to read some messed up history, read about Nero because he's actually one of the worst people in history. I literally was like, oh my God, it's Nero. And then it was, and I was like, that guy is the worst.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna read up on Nero. I know a little bit about him, but not like too much in detail. But I guess I'll get into that. But I'm really excited to see just like Apollo progress as a character because he's a great character already. But he's gonna have such epic character development. I'm so excited to see that. You already know that he's gonna become such an epic character with the like how he is. He's gonna stay Apollo, but he's gonna gain more of understanding for the mortal world. And I'm so excited to see him do that and discover what it's like to be mortal.
Exactly. I think it's going to be awesome. Should we go ahead and talk about our next book of the month?
Yes. Okay, guys. So our next book for next month that we hope you join us on. So I'll announce it, and then Reagan, do you want to like kind of summarize what it's about?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're going to be reading Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton, and I am so excited about this book. As you guys know, I love my, like, you know, Arabian Nights stories. This is not a retelling of the 1001 Arabian Nights, but I have a feeling it's going to have the same feel to it, and I'm loving that already.
So this book is really great. So it kind of feels like, to me anyway, like a desert western, and follows our main character who's grown up in the same town her whole life. She wants to escape. She hates it. But she's also like a sharpshooter. She's really good with a pistol, which I think is really cool. I don't know. I love western-esque stories, especially when it has to do with like pistols. I think it's great. Anyway, a stranger comes into her town one day. She uses him as an opportunity to escape her town. She goes on an adventure with him, and that's kind of where our story starts from there. It sounds exciting. I love settings like this, so I'm hoping for a good time. And plus, how can you go wrong with this cover? It's so shiny.
I know, it's a gorgeous cover. And also, I read at the bottom of this, like, I'm really curious about this, and it says like so it's about her embracing her powers, because she needs to embrace a power. And I'm like, what kind of power is that? Like, is it a supernatural, not supernatural, is it like a like magical power? Is it like some what type of power is it? So I'm so curious to find out about it. I'm so excited for you guys to join us. So yeah, definitely go join our book club if you have not already. There's a link down below for that. Follow Reagan, and yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining us this month for the Trials of Apollo, and I am so excited to see what's going to happen next in the series.
Me too.
Oh, also, if you guys have you seen the book trailers for this?
No. Is there a book trailer?
They're so amazing. They have like 3 of them. Guys, go watch them. Trials of Apollo book trailer. They have 3 of them, and they're the best things ever. My roommate, my sweetmate showed me one, a few of them, like 2 months ago, and I was like, I need to read this book. Guys, just go watch them.
Oh my god, I'm gonna Google them like right after this ends.
Yes. Okay, guys. So that being said, thank you so much for joining us this month. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next month with Rebel of the Sands. Bye, guys.